Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a tool called Freeze Panes. So sometimes you might have a workbook that is too big to see. And when you scroll to the left and the right or up and down, you might lose column headings or row headings, and it might make it difficult for you to truly understand your data. So I've opened up the Learning Files workbook. And I clicked on the second semester grades worksheet. Now I've increased my zoom to 170% just to make my point about having a super big workbook. And if you scroll down, you'll notice I also added some data. Okay, I added some more students and I added some grades for those students. So I did that to make my point. So if I scroll to the right, let's say I want to see final grades, I can't see my student names. Okay, and if I see my student names, I can't see the final grades. That could be a problem. Okay, if I scroll down, let's say I want to see the students at the end of the roster. Now I've lost my column and row headings. Okay, I don't know what category of data these numbers represent. And again, if I scroll over, I still can't see all my data. So this is an example of when the tool Freeze Panes might come in handy. Now you access this tool from your View tab, and it's right over here in the Window group, Freeze Panes. So Freeze Top Row is going to freeze row 1 so that whenever I scroll, that row 1 is always visible. Freeze First Column is going to freeze column A. So wherever I scroll, I always see column A. Okay, and both of those things are handy for this workbook, but what I really need to do is I need to freeze starting in cell B3 because I want to see my column headings that tell me what category of data I'm looking at. And I also always want to see my student names. So in this instance, I would need to freeze panes from B3 because B3 is the cell that's below the row I want to freeze and to the right of the column I want to freeze. So I click there, I go to freeze panes. I'll have to unfreeze what I just froze and then freeze panes. Now if I scroll down, I can always see my column headings. And if I scroll across, I can always see my student name. So no matter how big my workbook is, I can always see that information. Now let's say I've frozen panes and I want to unfreeze them. I just click the drop arrow and choose unfreeze. And now I'm back to normal. Okay, so I can't see that data when I scroll. All right, so that's freeze panes and unfreeze panes.